Introduction of decision support system. Decision support system is in past in history. Uh, Decision support system is a computer program that generally used for analyzing the business data, and that data is presented using some uh, screens or some interactive dashboards. That decision support system is extended, and nowadays that system is in the form of the BI. The business intelligence is nothing. It is a evolution of decision support concept over the time. The BI systems are enhanced with the additional visualizations, alerts, performance measurement, and capabilities. So, what is the main purpose of decision support system? Uh, in the very early age, the data is recorded in the form of hard copy sources. So that will be transformed into the digital form after the formation of digital data. We have to take few decisions using that source data. So decision support system is a complete program that support the managers and the management of a company to take some decisions related with the data. So that decisions can be taken by using on the basis of the results of the software. That is extended here in the form of the BI, business intelligence system. And visualization is an important part here. Visualization, all the data is represented with the help of charts, graphs, maps, alerts, KPIs, and some additional tools we have here to visualize the data. So the data is the soft copy of the data is transformed and shown by the interactive pictures and charts and by other things. So visualization is an important part of. Actually, these visualizations are not static visualizations. These visualizations are interactive visualizations. Interactive visualization means what? Okay, whenever you are in a bar chart, suppose countries are mentioned. Suppose 10 data of 10 countries is there in a bar chart. If you click on a single country, then the rest of the visualization in the report will automatically be adjusted and reformatted according to that country that you have selected. So if you click on any visual, the rest of the visuals in your report will automatically be adjusted, and the data related with that selected part of the visual will be automatically adjusted. And you can see, suppose you click on the Pakistan, and there are the 5 visuals. So all the 5 visuals are interactive in the sense that the remaining KPIs and the remaining uh, maps data and all the things will be accordingly adjusted and shown with the help of the visualization. So that is why it is one of the important tasks an important aspect of Power BI and the BI that we have interactive visualizations. Alerts are very important. That indicates you have set any types of alerts. If the production becomes smaller than this level, then alerts will automatically be generated, and that alerts will be obtained on the cell phones or some performance manager performance dashboards. That alerts will be displayed there so that the managers and the uh, people can take decisions according to that. So this is the one of the important aspect of the BI. The data is there, and the data is to be represented with the help of visuals, and these visuals are too interactive and gives us a very quick view of each and every aspect of the data by a single click. What is the definition, formal definition of the BI is a term that combines the architecture. Architecture means where the data is stored and what is the format of data. We have a variety of sources where the data is stored. So some data, some part of the data is stored in Oracle databases. A company, suppose the company has 4 stores in different countries, and one country has a database in Microsoft Excel. They do not have any decision support system in advanced form. So the data is clearly stored in Microsoft Excel. So the Excel is there. So we have data in Excel. These are the sources. Country A, in country A, the data is stored in Microsoft Excel. In country B, the data is stored in another format, like we have an Oracle database, and data is stored in the Oracle database. Somewhere we have SQL Server, where the data is stored. So these are the different sources, and the data is stored in the different architectures. So what we have to do, we have to integrate this data into one unified structure. That is the structure of BI structure that we have to. So all the data is extracted from the multiple sources, and that data is to be stored in a single format, and that single format will be used for reporting purposes. Reports, and from the reports we may have to generate the dashboard. The dashboard is another version or another level of reports. The multiple reports can be shown on a dashboard. One report can contains visuals related with the one aspect of the business, and this is the centralized form of the data. We can call it as a data warehouse. The data extracted from the multiple sources, and it is extracted into a data warehouse where we have a single format database, and from this single format database the BI will create the reports. So where the BI is, or where the Power BI work, BI is totally, this is BI, but Power BI is related to the aspect of how these data are extracted into the data warehouse and reports are generated. So you have to structures, architectures, we have to understand the different architectures and tools. We need the tools. We have databases where the data is stored. Analytical tools means models are basically in analytic tools for prediction and analysis purposes, different application methodologies. So it is a term BI which covers many more things under one subject. So that is a formal description of BI. So you have to be familiar with the terminologies, you have to be familiar with the technologies, you have to familiar with the different tools uh, in this course. So in one credit course we have to cover many things. But I think if you have a perception how we have to handle all of these things, so you can do it on an advanced version or advanced level after completing this one credit hour course. Uh, BI major objective is to enable the easy access to the data and models. Data and models to provide the business manager with the ability to conduct the analysis. The analysis can be done with the help of the data. That is an analytic part. The analytic part is what? Analytic part, integration part is the first thing, and then the analytic part. After analytic part, we have a report. So these are the 3 stages basically. The first stage, number 1, is integration part. In integration part, data is extracted and integrated into the one source and it at one place, which is known as a data warehouse. Then we have an analytical part in which we have to apply some models. For prediction model, we can also use, some data models will also be used. So data model and prediction model, these are the two types of models, but analytic part is there. The third one is the reporting part. In reporting part, the data is taken from the analysis and reports are to be generated. And these reports are organized with the help of dashboards, which is an advanced form of the reports. The report is specific to any specific situation, but the dashboard is actually a company is doing multiple tasks. So each task is represented by report and the entire company is represented with the help of a dashboard. The dashboard is important at the last level. That reports and that dashboards will be shared with the many peoples. The peoples may be within your organization and across the world they are sitting. So you have to share your reports and your dashboard with your offices in the different countries of the world. And even you can share some of the reports with the online internet. So that is a very larger aspect of these reporting features, because many of the international companies share their reports with all users over the internet. All the multinational big companies are sharing their reports, which they are not too proprietary with the all publics in the world. So that report may be shared to the all public, and that reports may be shared with the people within your organizations who are sitting in the different segment of the world. BI help transform data to information and knowledge. The data is the initial form, data is transformed into information, and information is knowledge. Knowledge means what? Knowledge means the information is used for future predictions and the future part of the uh, company, that decisions will be used for the prediction purposes. So that is the three stages. The data, initially we have data, the data becomes information, information becomes the knowledge. That is an evolution of data in the three stages. This segment, the entire is represented with the help of this picture. We have the data sources may SQL, the Excel file, simple text files, somewhere we have Oracle and other sources of data we may have. So these are the different data sources. So you should be familiar with the different type of database software. And you should be familiar with the general terminology used in the database software. So I will try to cover some of the aspects of the databases here, but it is quite difficult to cover the larger aspects of each and every database system. So I will introduce one or two here and use for the demonstration purpose in designing the reports. So ETL is what? ETL is extract, transform, and load. The load where? In a data warehouse. So the data is taken from all of these sources or from some of these sources. There is a possibility that a company which is a multinational company and it is organized into the 10 countries of the world. There is a possibility that all 10 countries have a different data formats and the different databases are used. So we have to extract the data and store them in a unified version that is known as a data warehouse. From the data warehouse, we have to take the data in the OLAP. This is the analytic services. OLAP is what? And OLAP is the analytic service in which we have to generate the multiple aspects of the data. We can generate the data month-wise, company-wise, day-wise, multiple aspects of data we can isolate with the help of these cubes. Then reports are generated, ad hoc reports, queries, and then reports, and then dashboards, and then KPIs. So these are the stages. So now 3 stages are shown here. One is called SSIS. This is the integration services. The integration services indicates what? And integration services indicates okay, we have different sources and data is integrated into one unified form. This is SI, this is the part of SSIS. Then we have analytic services where the data from the data warehouse is extracted, and it is the analytic part. And OLAPs are cubes are generated. From these cubes, the data are taken and reporting. This is the third segment, as I represent in the previous slide. We have report. This is SSRS. So SSRS, SSIS, SSAS. These are the 3 important segments in a BI system. But these terms, these 3 terms comes from MSBI. MSBI is Microsoft Business Intelligence. Microsoft Business Intelligence is using these 3 terms. SSIS, SSAS, and analytic service, and integration service, analytic service, and reporting service. These are the 3, but these terms are quite usual terms in the BI systems. Other softwares are also using IS, AS, and RS terms. What is the objective of decision support system? Strategy gap. Strategy gap is what? We have to fill this gap. This strategy gap is represented with this, the current performance of the system. The first thing is very important. This is the current performance of the system, where the company is standing right now. This is the current position of the company. And this is the desired performance of the company. What after 10 years or after 5 years, what we want to see, at what stage we want to see the company will be. So this is the desired level. This is the current level. So that gap is to be filled with the help of BI systems. So that is the main purpose of these BI systems. So we have to cover these challenges. We have to cover these gaps so that we will get the desired performance of the company. Here we have some database terminology, and all of you, some of the terms are very basic and all of you are familiar with that. So can any one of you, I will expose the term by term. Can any one of you highlight these terms if you have the concept about it? Data. Yes, anyone can say something about the data, and all of you are familiar because in statistics, we were dealing with the data. Ji Faizan.
रॉज जो हमारे पास होती है, columns.
Columns. Fields are basically the column names are the field. Okay, column names are the fields. Like we have the ERP number, like we have the inventory level is a one field, like we have the inventory date. So these are the fields that we have in our database or in our table. Then data items are individual. The field, suppose inventory level is a field and the number 50,000 is the inventory level. That number is basically a data item. The data item is a specific value of that field or that column. Now record is a complete row. Complete row is in database, it is called a record. In SPSS, I was using the term cases for it. So in SPSS, it is cases. In database, it is record row. In Excel, it is row. Now tables are what? Tables are a collection of row and column. Is a complete table. It is in database terminology. Table is a we can say that spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet may be visualized as a Excel sheet as a table. But in database terminology, it is not. It is a collection of columns and rows. So we have columns and rows. We can use the term table in the database terminology. Row number one, row number two, rows are ref, and column number one, column number two. So we can use a table for it. The table is a collection of rows and column, like a table of inventory. So inventory, the date, we have the item code, we have item code के बाद we have item company from which we are going to extract or brand of the item. Some inventory level we have, like how many items we have right now in the stock we have. So this is the level of the inventory. So these are the columns and the values are there. Item number one, item number two, item number three. Suppose we have 1 million items in the inventory. So these items are represented with the help of a table. The table is nothing. It is just like a spreadsheet, but table is a database terminology. It is in the form of columns and rows. Database. Database is a collection of related tables. Collection of related tables is a database. Like I have, this is the inventory table. Along with the inventory table, I have another table of the company, which is indicating the merchant table. The merchant name, the merchant ID, the merchant address, the merchant, the product the merchant is selling, and these are the different merchant by which the company is dealing. So this is another table, and this table is a merchant table. It has rows in which the different merchants are represented. Suppose 1000 merchants are there from which we are dealing. So these are the two tables. One is the merchant table and other is the invoice table. These tables, are these tables related to each other or no? If these two tables are related to each other, we can use a term database for it. So database is what? Database is a collection of related tables. So this is the table of inventory of items, and these items are purchased from these merchants. So these are the different merchants that we have. So there is a possibility that we have a association between these. Suppose this is item number one, and this item number is purchased from merchant ID. So merchant ID, which is a field here, so will be a common field here. So we have a merchant ID here. So from which merchant we are purchasing this item. So that is to be recorded in this database. So these are the two tables, and we may have many more tables in a database. Like we have an employee table of the company, we have a customer table of a company, and so on. So several tables are there in one database. So this is called one database. The database is defined as database is a collection of tables. These tables are related. By what respect these tables are related? Because all tables are engaged and helpful to execute one company. So all tables relate to one company. That is why we are saying that these are the related tables. So they are related with a company. So their goals are same. Table or having the same goal. What the goal of each table is to have a decision support system for the company. So that is why all tables are interrelated to each other. Anyone has any question right now related with these terms, you can ask. When records are related and forms a table, and tables are related and they forms a database, and database may be database management system. What is the database management system? I have this question with the students. Can any one of you highlight the DBMS?
It's a technology solution जो data extract करता है
Right.
users के लिए.
तो जो डेटाबेस को मैनेज करने के लिए जो सॉफ्टवेयर रिक्वायर्ड होता है, we use the term DBMS for that. So DBMS is what? DBMS is a collection of, can any one of you complete my sentence? DBMS is a collection of what?
Databases.
Databases, not
database management system.
Database. This is the collection of computer programs, softwares, computer programs which controls our databases. So database contains the data tables, while DBMS does not contains the data and does not contains the tables. Database management system contains the lot. Suppose I am giving you the example of the merchant table. Merchant table is a file in a database. So it is one table, and we have several other tables in this database. But if I want to one more merchant, I want to add one more merchant into this table. Suppose already I have 1,000 merchant, but one more merchant is now dealing with the company, and I want to add this merchant into this table. So that can be done with the help of a add merchant program. So add merchant program is what? Add merchant program is a code which is in any programming language. It is a code. We will run this code to add this merchant into this database. So these databases are controlled with the help of database management systems. So there are the two things. One thing is the data tables and data entities, and other thing is the program entities. The program entities is a collection of files. Data entry is also a collection of files. In database, we have the collection of data tables. In database management system, we have so hundreds of programs will be there to control our database. So is another program which delete a merchant record from this file. This is another computer program which update the information of any merchant. Suppose the address of a merchant is changed, or some status of the merchant is changed. So that updates can be done by another program. So update program, delete merchant, delete program, and add a new merchant, add program. So these are the codes. These are nothing. These are the codes. So database management systems are the code. Database are the data entities. If anyone have any confusion or query related with these two, you can do. Relational databases are the databases in which we have some common fields. कॉमन फील्ड जैसे मैंने अभी आपको थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था कि एक हमारे पास टेबल था, आइटम्स का टेबल था, इन्वेंट्री का टेबल था, और ये आइटम्स कहाँ से खरीदे गए हैं, ये मर्चेंट्स का टेबल था. अब इनमें एक कॉमन फील्ड थी यहाँ पे, और उसका मैंने यहाँ मर्चेंट आईडी मेंशन किया था. तो यहाँ पे मर्चेंट आईडी होगा और यहाँ पर भी मर्चेंट आईडी होगा. ये आइटम आईडी अलग है, ये आइटम आईडी है और ये मर्चेंट आईडी है. MID कर देता हूँ इसको मर्चेंट आईडी, और ये IID कर देता हूँ इसको आइटम आईडी. तो आइटम आईडी तो इसमें यूनिक होगा, इस टेबल में आइटम आईडी यूनिक होगा क्योंकि एक आइटम को एक लेबल दिया हुआ होगा। लेकिन इन दिस टेबल मर्चेंट आईडी हो सकता है ये आइटम भी हमने इसी मर्चेंट से खरीदा हो जिसका कोड नंबर 1010 है, और ये आइटम भी हमने इसी मर्चेंट से खरीदा हुआ है जिसका कोड 1010 है। तो ये चीज कहलाती है रिलेशन। तो रिलेशन आर व्हाट? रिलेशंस आर what is the benefit of relation? The main benefit of relations are reducing the data redundancy. कि डेटा, अब आप देखें ना, ये डेटा वरना मैं मर्चेंट का सारा यहाँ रखूंगा तो ये तो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा ये, और डेटा डबलिंग हो जाएगी। मर्चेंट की सारी डिटेल मैंने अलग टेबल में रख ली और इन दोनों टेबल्स को मैंने कनेक्ट कर दिया विद द हेल्प ऑफ द की फील्ड्स। तो ये रिलेशंस कहलाते हैं। ये रिलेशंस आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम इतने पावरफुल हैं कि इफ आई एम एडिंग अ मर्चेंट, then it will control all the related activities in all other tables which are affecting by this merchant. If I am deleting a merchant, then database management system is a very smart system which reflect all changes in all tables related to that specific merchant. So that is a very important aspect of database management systems. Key fields are those fields by which we connect these two. जैसे merchant ID से मैं दोनों को connect कर रहा था, तो we use the term key field for that. Foreign की merchant ID इस वाले टेबल में, merchant टेबल में तो की फील्ड थी, यूनिक थी। लेकिन जब मैं इसको इन्वेंट्री टेबल में शो कर रहा था तो ये फॉरेन की थी। फॉरेन की में यहाँ डबलिंग थी, आप देखिए। मर्चेंट में मैंने आपसे कहा था कि दिस आइटम इज परचेज्ड बाय द सेम मर्चेंट। मर्चेंट आईडी मैंने बताया था 1010। this item was purchased by this merchant, this item is also purchased. There is a possibility that hundreds of items in this inventory are purchased from the merchant ID 1010. So this merchant ID in this table is a foreign key MID, merchant ID, and merchant ID in the merchant table is a key field. is a key field is a unique key field. यहाँ एक मर्चेंट की एक आईडी होगी सिर्फ और सिर्फ, लेकिन यहाँ एक मर्चेंट से मैंने मल्टीपल आइटम खरीदे हैं तो ये मल्टीपल टाइम्स हो सकती है। तो इसको हम कहते हैं ये वन टू मैनी रिलेशनशिप। ये इसके साथ वन टू मैनी रिलेशनशिप बना रही होगी। यहाँ एक आइटम एक मर्चेंट की यहाँ मल्टीपल को शो कर रहा होगा, तो वन टू मैनी की रिलेशनशिप बनती है। तो की फील्ड, it is key field. Here the MID is the key field, but in this table the MID is a foreign key. So these are some specific relational databases that can create relations among the different tables. That is basically today's we are dealing with the relational databases because all tables are related to each other. RDBMS, relational database management system, that is the same difference as we have database and database management system. Here we have a relational database and relational database management system. Normalization. Can anyone of you say something about the normalization? Data sources, as I told you, the data of a company is not generally stored at one place. As store A is in US and store B is in Canada and store C is in UAE. So a company has 3 major stores, and all these 3 stores are in different locations. There is a possibility that they have same data structure. Company store A is maintaining the data in Oracle as well as B as well as UAE, but there is a possibility that we have a different data sources. यहाँ पे data Excel में बना हुआ है, यहाँ Oracle पे बना हुआ है, यहाँ SQL सर्वर पे बना हुआ है। तो ये हमारे डेटा सोर्सेज हैं, हम यहाँ से डेटा को एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे ये, ठीक है। तो दीज आर द टर्म डेटा सोर्सेज are referred to as different data into the different formats from where we are taking the data and integrating them in a data warehouse. डेटा वेयर हाउस, तो डेटा वेयर हाउस में ये सारा डेटा आ तो जाएगा, एक जगह पर आ जाएगा, सेंट्रल पूल बन जाएगा, लेकिन डेटा वेयर हाउस में एक टेक्नोलॉजी होगी, डेटा सारा या तो ओरेकल में होगा या सारा एसक्यूएल सर्वर में होगा. इट इज डेटा वेयर हाउस इज नथिंग मोर देन अ डेटाबेस. तो दीज आर आल्सो द डेटाबेस and data warehouse is also a database. This is the database, these are also the database. But the different databases we have integrated one consolidated database here we have, which is I refer to as database. तो आप ये मत समझें कि data warehouse कोई और अलग से कोई मखलूक होगी. It is nothing, it is just a database in which we have the consolidated data which is stored from the different sources of the company. These are the different sources. If anyone have query, this is the key field here in the student table. But in the grades table or in the courses table, this student will appear multiple times. How many times? As many courses he completed or she completed. तो जितने courses complete करेगा उसकी एक courses table में उसकी एक entry आ जाएगी. ठीक है ना, एक कोर्स, ये कोर्सेज का टेबल है. अब इसने जो जो कोर्सेज कंप्लीट करता जाएगा ये उसकी एंट्री इस तरह से अलग होती चली जाएगी. तो स्टूडेंट के साथ कोर्सेज की अटैचमेंट होगी. तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि विच स्टूडेंट हैव कवर्ड द विच कोर्सेज? तो दैट विल बी रिफ्लेक्टेड इन द कोर्स टेबल. In the grade table, different teachers have, because grades are maintained in separate tables. So the entire table will be there, but all over there, the student ID field will be there. The student ID field will be there. Student ID, which is the ERP number. ERP number is the primary key here, but ERP number is the secondary key here. ERP number is the secondary key here in the courses table, because in courses table, the course ID will be the primary key. In the grades table, the grade ID will be the maybe the unique field, or it will be one for the each student. So this is the difference between the primary key and key field. Is basically I'm using the term primary key for that. Now different sources are here. What these sources are? अच्छा टाइम कितना हो गया, ज्यादा हो गया क्या टाइम? ठीक है, ये स्लाइड कंप्लीट कर लें. वी हैव अ डिफरेंट सोर्सेज ऑफ डाटा. डाटा इज स्टोर्ड इन एक्सेल, CSV text format. We have Access databases. We may have Oracle databases, SQL Server, MySQL, Sybase, Azure, and many more. So these are the different. I am not going to harass you. You have to learn all of these technologies, but you should be familiar with some of them. So I will demonstrate few things here. Like quite simple is to have in data in Excel. All of you are familiar with the CSV. Excel is very quite familiar, but we need license for Oracle. So I'm not going to describe something here, but a SQL Server, you can have some idea regarding SQL Server and Azure. तो मैं कुछ में से आपको प्रैक्टिस करवा दूंगा, लेकिन इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि जी आपको सब पे आना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप में से बहुत सारे लोग इस फील्ड में आ रहे होंगे, डेटा के और बिजनेस एनालिटिक्स के, और बाज़ लोग का इससे कोई रिलेशन शायद फ्यूचर में ना भी बने, वो कुछ और फील्ड में हो. लेकिन ये कि दीज आर द बेसिकली रिक्वायरमेंट्स फॉर द BI कि यू शुड बी फेमिलियर विद द सम ऑफ द डेटा सोर्सेज. तो मैं इसमें से कुछ काम आपको यहाँ करवाऊंगा अभी, इसमें जो ट्यूटोरियल सेशंस हैं, लैब सेशन, उसके अंदर जाकर के. अच्छा, ये फिर हम ब्रेक के बाद कर लेते हैं. वो लैब और OLTP इस पे डिस्कशन इंशाल्लाह ब्रेक के बाद कर लेंगे. मैं यहाँ पर तो online analytic processing, OLAP, performs the multi-dimensional analysis of business data. Bank manager may need the information about the transaction in a specific branch in a specified number of days. So this type of data can be gathered from the tables and the databases. some complex calculations, trend analysis, sophisticated data modeling, all these are the part of analytic processing. SSAS. I use the term SSAS for analytic processing. The ASSAS is an analytic processing service in which the company needs consolidated details and accumulated data should be shown to the company, and the trends are to be formed and predictions are to be taken by the help of the analytic processing systems. Online transaction system, most of the tasks done by the DBMS. Insert a new data, delete a data, edit, update, append. These are the transactions. So, a new customer is added, fraudulent transaction was deleted, and a customer need update address, append or edit is needed. Append means the new customer is added to the database or in a table. So these type of transactions are done by the OLTP. The transaction processing versus analytic processing are constantly involved in handling, update, edit into the databases. But ATM withdrawal transactions, sales order entry via an e-commerce site, updates are needed in databases. So these are the online transaction processing, handle routine ongoing business. So a company store need OLTP system, while company at a broader level need an OLAP, in which the data of all the branches of company are to be gathered and monitored with the help of analytic processing. ERP system in IBA, CRM, customer relationship management system are an examples of the OLTP systems. Main goal is to have high efficiency because transaction will be highly accurate. If the transaction is not accurate, means the actual data is not there and actual data is not taking place. So that is one of the very important aspect of OLTP, that it has a very high efficiency, because customer need immediate transaction, and if the transaction data is not correct, means the transaction is false. So the all systems which is based on OLTP, because OLAP is nothing, OLAP is a advanced form and a next step of OLTP. So initial step is OLTP and the next step is the OLAP. Analytic processing are involved in extracting information from the data stored by OLTP, and then routine sales reporting. Reportings are the part of OLAP by region, by sales. The cubes that I shown in the previous slide, the data cubes are basically the examples of OLAP. So what the cubes are nothing. The data is organized by dates in one dimension. It is organized by cities in another dimension. It is organized by customers in another dimension. So in the different dimensions, the data is organized. The data is in databases, because OLAP is also, and data warehouse is also a database, but is a different format and the different form of the data. Often built on the top of the data warehouse where the data is not transactional. The main goal is effectiveness and then the efficiency, provide the correct information in a timely manner. Chapter 2, we have more discussion on the OLAP in chapter number 2. So I'm just going to complete this first segment quick way, because I want to introduce the practical segment, which is more interesting as compared to these three theoretical concepts. So in this slide, we have a difference between company want to know how many items are sold by this shop. Is this OLTP or OLAP?
OLAP.
It is OLAP, because is a consolidation by company of a specific shop, all items. It is not for a specific shop, a specific item. It is all transaction on that shop. That is why it is OLAP. Borrow amount from an ATM machine is OLTP because one customer borrow the amount. It is OLTP, a single transaction by that customer. So the amount has been taken and subtracted from the account balance. Sold an item on OLX is also an OLTP because one transaction it is. How much profit made by the specific salesperson? It is OLAP because all the transactions and the sales made by the salespersons are accumulated, and total profit will be calculated on the basis of all the sales made by this specific person. So that is why it is OLAP. Aggregated data is OLAP. Purchased a book from Amazon.com is OL. What is it?
TP, all TP.
TP. It is transaction. It is one complete transaction. Now I'm skipping that. Predictive analytic, you can have much more about the predictive analytic because all of you are familiar with the regression models and the machine learning models. So in prediction, we have to build the model on the basis of the available data we have. So I'm not going to describe the more details here because all of you are already familiar with the predictive models. Architecture of BI, the data warehouse, the business analytics, the business performance management, and a user interface. So the ultimate goal of BI is to have a user interface like dashboards. But this dashboard is not a solo term, which is basically based on the previous steps. So we have to build the data in a data warehouse, and then we have to perform analytics. Performance are to be checked with the help of some monitoring, and then a user interface or a dashboard is to be created. It is quite simple. You have data sources and technical staff, and data warehouse is built. From the data warehouse, the managers and the executives' performance strategies are there. Then reports and the portals are generated. Now, data warehouse. What the data warehouse is? Data warehouse is a database where the transactions are stored. Is also a database. The transactions are stored in a database, but transactions are in different technologies. One database is in another technology. This is in another technology. In data warehouse, we have a uniform technology. So these are the different databases, but it is one consolidated database in which the entire data is extracted and transformed into a unified format. Originally, data warehouse included the historical data that was originated by Summarize. One of the important aspects of data warehouse is data in the data warehouse is in the layered, means timely fashion it is organized. कि आपने अगर पहले मंथ में डेटा यहाँ ऑर्गेनाइज किया था तो उसकी एक अलग लेयर हो गई है, और ये उसके बाद एक और मंथ में हो गई है, या अगर आप मंथ वाइज ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं, अगर आप ईयर वाइज कर रहे हैं, अगर आप डेली कर रहे हैं, तो इट्स टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द company need and company rules and regulations, at what level the company needs to update the data in the data warehouse. लेकिन data warehouse में data को edit नहीं करते. एक दफा एक लेयर बन जाती है तो उसके बाद अगली लेयर एक सेपरेट उसमें आती है. उसके बाद तो इससे डाटा के बैकअप्स भी बन जाते हैं हमारे पास, और रीसेंट फॉर्म ऑफ द डेटा हमें मिल रही होती है हर वक्त पे. तो ये, लेकिन आजकल कुछ डेटा इन रियल टाइम डेटा वेयर हाउसेस का कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया है. इनिशियल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द डेटा वेयर हाउस वाज नॉट real time data there, but nowadays there is a concept of real time data in the data warehouse कि यहाँ से डेटा आ रहा है और वो immediately live हो रहा है और यहाँ से जा भी रहा है डेटा. तो जो डेटा यहाँ आ रहा है वो immediate process हो रहा है, वो आगे जा रहा है. तो real time processing system we may have with the help of the current databases. That is quite possible, and that is need of the current business
every moment the management need to have a perception of the company's KPIs. So every minute and every what the production level is, what the sale level is, what the marketing level is, what the customer level is, all these indicators are to be shown and in such an interactive way so that immediate data, that this will reflect the immediate data. Every time it will reflect the immediate data. That is the need of the current business. Data warehouse is a single, complete, consistent store of data obtained from the variety of different sources, made available to the end user in what they can understand and use in a business context. This is the formal definition of the data warehouse. Component of the data warehouse, business analytics tools we need, and query languages are to be used. Data mining and data extraction tools are to be used. I am just skipping. These are the applications in a data warehouse. You can read this theoretical applications. These are the applications. That customer segmentation, why the customer segmentation is need. My research question is what? The business question is what? Segments of the customer into what their characteristics. So we have to segment. Suppose we want to segment the customer city-wise. The customers in Karachi city, customer in Lahore, customer in another. Or we can bifurcate the customer with the product-wise. The customer of that specific product. Product A के customers अलग कर लिए, ये अलग कर लिए, ये अलग कर लिए. तो हम किसी भी level से customer segmentation की हमें जरूरत पड़ सकती है. That is one of the application. Then we have a tendency to buy. Which customers are most likely to respond on my promotion? That is very important thing because most of the businesses are run on the basis of promotions. जैसे अभी आप दराज पे देख रहे थे वो जो 11-11 की सेल लग रही थी और अभी 12-12 एक आने वाला है. इस तरह से बहुत सारी कंपनीज या अपने अभी स्वेल और वो जो एयरलिफ्ट चले थे उन पे देखा था प्रमोशंस आ रहे थे. वो 50 रुपीस की ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही थी और वो आपको काफ़ी बेनिफिट मिल रहा था. तो ये सारी की सारी प्रमोशंस जो है ना बिजनेस को बूस्ट अप करने के लिए ली जाती हैं. तो टारगेट कस्टमर्स कौन से हैं और उसको किस तरह से हम इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं. This is basically the business value of that specific promotion. Profitability, we have to focus on the lifetime. What is the lifetime profitability of a customer? So in a short time, we are in a loss because we are giving the facility in a very subsidized rate. But the actual benefit is to have the longer time profitability of the company. Because once the customer is addicted with the transaction and very comfortable with the transaction and the trust of the company is built by the customer by some transactions, so that will be the future value of the company. Fraudulent detection, customer attrition. Customer attrition means what are the important aspects by which we can retain the customer to the company. And what are the best channels to the customer to segment. So these are the different questions. I am just theoretical concepts are going to describe in a quick manner so that I will be in the practical segments we will have. Major BI vendors. Major BI vendors are what companies are offering the tools for BI. Cognos. Cognos is a product of IBM, and Hyperion is a Oracle product. This is also Hyperion is a business product which is generally used in BI. Business Object is a SAP application which is mostly used for BI purposes. MicroStrategy, this company is an independent large BI vendor, and other is a Microsoft. Microsoft is a brand, and Microsoft providing us a major product they are providing. MSBI and Power BI, these are the two products of Microsoft. MSBI is a part of Microsoft SQL Server. SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft MSBI is a part of that. Power BI is an independent application. It can be run as a desktop version or it can be run as an online. So I told you to install the Microsoft Power BI desktop version because desktop version is free of cost and it doesn't need any license. But its online version needs license. The online versions that reports can be built with the desktop versions, but reports cannot be shared with the desktop version. So we need the online version for that. So online version is available on the trial basis and you can download the online version of Power BI for a limited time without any fees. So for demonstration purpose, I will ask you to complete the online version and we will share some reports with the help of this online version. Right? MSBI has three components: SSIS, as I told you previously, integrated services, analytic services, and reporting services. These are the three important factors. But Power BI has all the three important capabilities in a single software and in a very handy and very quick and a very easy to use. Instead of if you are working with the MSBI, you need some quite technical details. But whenever you are working with the Power BI, it's just like as a Microsoft Excel and very simple and a quick versions and views you have. You can build the report in a few seconds. You can build the reports. You can have data modeling in that. One of the very important of Power BI is data modeling can also be done with the Power BI. I'm not going to describe these three components because already I spent time on defining these three elements of MSBI. This is the desktop of Power BI. So I will switching to the lecture towards the Power BI, which is the second segment of the lecture. Power BI, this is the GUI of initial screen of the Power BI. Hope all of you have already installed this Power BI desktop version to your laptops or computers so that you will be here along with me during this lecture. Now, BI resources are described here. And if you have questions related with this segment of this part of the